Hey, hello, and welcome. So, today I want to talk about a really important topic in business. And most of us, when we start our online business, me included, we wear all the hats, right? The budget is smaller than it is once you're generating revenue. You're just not really sure who to hire and what to hire for. So we start off our business with just this seed, this dream seed, and we build it from the ground up. And what I've noticed is many times entrepreneurs will wear all the hats. That's a mixed bag: control, perfectionism, budget, all the things roll into it. Boundaries, not trusting. It's a really rich topic. But today I want to introduce you to one of my private clients, Morgan Moss, and she is the founder of Inked Goddess Creations. It is a fabulous brand. We're going to be talking to her about this. Going from worker bee to queen bee in her business, really stepping into her leadership. When we first started working together, Morgan was doing all the things, just literally all the things. And she was burnt out. She was really burnt out. And what started off as being her soul work ended up being soul draining, to the point where it was exhaustion. It took the joy out of it. And this is a very common pattern I see over and over and over with my clients and with spiritual entrepreneurs. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the amazing Morgan Moss. Hi, Morgan. Welcome, and thank you for doing this discussion. Let's call it a discussion. Interview seems too stuffy. Let's chat.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes, for sure. I just think that the world needs to know you and see you and know what your soul work is all about. So, with that being said, tell us a little bit about you and what you do, and who are your ideal customers?
Um, I own an online metaphysical store. We focus on tools to help make your life a little bit more magical. And I've been doing it. I opened in 2013 online as like an Etsy store. We ditched Etsy in about 2016 and completely online now with our own website. Um, our ideal client is generally female, older in life, so kind of embracing moving from the mother aspect into queen into crone. But we do have a lot of beginners, and I enjoy working with. We do have men who are customers. We just generally have a lot of goddess vibes going on, so we tend to attract a lot more women.
Yeah, yeah. And what I said before, let's talk a little bit about that. This was a dream seed that you had to start this business. And your business is, you can buy one item at a time, but you also have a subscription box. And now you also have an inner circle group where you're leading and stepping into your leadership, something that we've created together over the time we've been working. Um, Talk to me a little bit about what it was like starting and doing all the things, and why did you do all the things?
So I owned a brick and mortar store like 2005 to 2010, and in the South, and it closed. It was a very small town. That seed was still in me, and so my husband got stationed in Tucson. A friend of mine here was like, "Have you ever seen the Tucson Gem Show?" And like all of it came alive again. But at the time, I was running it out of our house. My husband was military. We lived in base housing. We did not have a lot of money. So I started small, and I kind of was like, okay, we can afford for me to do this now. And then, I would go up one step and go up one step. So along the way, I just taught myself how to do everything from like, I knew how to make the items. I knew how to sell them. But from there, I mean, I was doing marketing, I was doing graphic design, I was doing absolutely everything. And the bigger, when we launched our subscription box, it kind of exploded.
Yeah.
And I still was doing all of it because I had a lot of trust issues. And I still was like, no, I have to do it. And I can't let anyone else do it, because if I do it, then it's correct,
Yep.
So that was why I just kept on and kept on and kept on until the point of sheer exhaustion, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when we first had our chat about potentially working together. You had said, when I saw the invitation come through my inbox, I was like, book a call with Lisa, because you were just at that place where it was just enough already. You knew you couldn't sustain that kind of doing all the things, because let's face it, you have a family, you have a husband, you have children, you have a personal life, and it was literally getting sucked away into this soul mission that you have, or and that you were building. So common, so common. I'd love for you to tell a little bit about, because I think it's so beautiful, the purpose, the sole purpose behind your brand. And I remember when we discussed it, we both agreed that the magic is within. So can you elaborate a little bit on what your heart speaks to in that?
I do. I've always had that thought, and I've always had a thought that magic shouldn't break the bank either. So it stemmed from, my brick and mortar store, when it was in a very low income area. And so there were a lot of people that they didn't understand that they didn't have to drive an hour to the big witchcraft store and buy $200 worth of stuff. They would come to me and I'd be like, here's a 25-cent candle, a dollar bag of herbs. This is what you do with it, because you can do it. It's not the things you're using, it's you. And I got a lot of positive feedback, people coming back to me like, I didn't think I could do it. And so I've always thought that, and I've always like, that's what I preach to people is you can do whatever you want. You can even do it just with your energy. You don't need, hundreds of dollars of supplies, which is a really weird thing for a business owner to tell people. But that's part of who I am. Like, I'm going to tell you the truth, and, you can kind of take it from there. But for me, it's always been, you have the energy, you have the magic within you. And as long as you know how to unlock it, and
Yes.
I can help you. There are tools, there are supplies that can help you unlock it. So once you do that, like, the possibilities are endless. You can change your life for the better. So it's something I'm extremely passionate about, and it's my message over everything, even over selling things. Sometimes I'm like, you can do this. If you want this stuff, it could help you, but you can definitely do this.
Yeah. As you were speaking, I'm like, it's like your soul song when you say that. It's so beautiful to me, because it takes the power away from the thing and puts it within you, which is truly what I believe as well. The magic is within. In along my journey of exploring my spirituality, exploring all different traditions, I belong to a coven up north on Long Island, and my magical teacher used to say, you need a red candle for this spell, and blah blah blah. And people, the people in the room would be like, I don't have a red candle. So then he'd turn around and he would say, what do you need? What do you got? The power is within the witch. And I just, my ears sucked that up. It was like, because the truth is, it doesn't matter. These things support us, but the magic, our intention, is what drives the magic. The intention within, the belief within, activates that magic. And I love so much that as a business owner and someone who sells all the stuff, that you would rather help somebody see that the magic is within. And I just love that so much about you. I just want to publicly say that, to everyone. I love that about you. Love so many things about you. So what's a common myth around magical folk that you'd like to debunk?
Oh, that we have to magical and witchy folk have to dress in all black, and we have to hex people or curse people,
Right.
and we have to always be brooding. And yeah, so
Such bullshit.
I'm a I'm a self-proclaimed fluffy bunny, and back when I was learning, I was getting into witchcraft. I was probably, 18, 19, 20 years old. Fluffy bunny was a derogatory term that was used to describe witches that only dealt in light work. Like, oh, they refuse to see the dark. And I'm like, I don't refuse to see it. And I
Right.
have the knowledge to work with it, but I choose to work in light and love. So over the years, I tell people I'm a fluffy bunny. And a lot of people are like, that's bad, right? And I'm like, no, it's not. Why does it have to be bad? Like, I like to wear bright colors. I'm a very colorful person. I'm a light worker. I work in light magic. I don't disregard the dark. You have to have a balance. And
Sure.
I teach my students that. That's a core message for our business as well. You have to have that balance. But I work in light magic. So just because of that, it doesn't mean I'm less powerful of a witch, or because I don't dress in all black and follow the witch aesthetic, it doesn't mean I'm less of a witch than anyone else.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I so agree as well. Although black, all shades of black are my favorite colors, besides purple. But the thing is, I agree. I think that there is this stereotype that is culturally thought about, and all of the nonsense like this, eating babies and sacrifices. I mean, there's just it's a mixed bag of what goes on with the stereotype, and I love that goddesspreneurs are coming up and out of, let's just say, the shadows, for lack of a better word, but not in a way that that's bad, but from behind the computer and showing up and saying, hey, yeah, I'm magical, I'm a witch, I'm this, because witch really is synonymous with healer. And I'm proud. I'm proud to be a healer. I'm proud of my lineage, and I know you are too. That's awesome. So over the course of when we first started working together, you were exhausted. You were wearing all the hats. Your revenue had hit a glass ceiling, and within 4 to 5 weeks, we doubled your revenue, working on tightening up some systems within your business, some SOPs and stuff that we concentrated a lot on, taking a look at where the energy leaks were, right? Because we have profit leaks, but usually profit leaks they correspond to energy leaks. And some of the things that you were holding on to, these limiting beliefs that were stopping you from expanding team, relinquishing some of the control over what you would allow others to do out of fear, trust issues, totally valid, totally real. So now that, and I want to just say also that you've managed to keep your revenue where in that doubled space all through 2020, the pandemic year. And during that year, your revenue stayed stable, which is amazing. And then now we're working on this, putting together some really great programs where your clients can actually take deeper dives with you, whether it's through your Inked Spirit membership, or you're going to be, I think we're working on right now some sort of online event that you're going to be putting on. And how does that feel? How does that feel to you?
It was, I have to say, when I started working with a business coach, there was part of me that was a little skeptical. Just we had actually lost about 150 subscribers one month.
Yeah.
And I was exhausted. I was crying. I was so frustrated. And I reached out and I was like, but I don't really know what a business coach can help me do. And then within, it was like the first 4, 5, 6 weeks, something like that, we doubled income, because there were different things you saw that I couldn't see because I was in it.
Yeah.
And so you were like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. And then even from there, we moved the business out of the house, which I had a limiting belief that in order to be a small business, I had to stay in my house. And so the business was taking over my office, my dining room, my garage, my living room. And so you were like, why don't you get an office space? And I was like, oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got an office space. Even in 2020, I was able to hire 3 new employees. I hired a virtual team that also helped. Like, it started as baby steps. It was like, okay, I'm going to hire a virtual assistant and I'm going to teach her what I know and have trust that and it worked. And so that builds a little bit more trust. Like, okay, now I'll hire a marketing person and we'll talk about what I need and what my vision is. And they were on board. And so it has been these baby steps, and it makes it so easier. Like, here I am, like a year and a half later, I guess. And we have the office space with several employees. So we even created jobs through the pandemic, and like local jobs and, virtual jobs as well. So it's it's been nice. It has been very nice to take a more leadership role and to do the things that I like to design. That's my thing. I like to design new products. I like to design new services. So that's where I'm able to focus my work now, and everything is still getting done.
Yeah.
So,
So good. So good,
yeah.
Juicy. So, what is one thing you would say or tell your early entrepreneur self?
Oh, um, take time, probably. I've always been known to jump in headfirst into the deep end and then kind of survive my way out of it. And I think if I would have taken a step back with a lot of things and planned more and taken more time, it wouldn't have been so stressful and so draining. So I think if I could go back and talk to younger Morgan, I'd be like, okay, hold on. It's still going to be there tomorrow. It'll still be there next week. You can take time to, check all the boxes and get everything done. And I promise you it will be better if you take the time.
Oh yeah, such great advice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have trouble surrendering to divine timing as well. I think like it yesterday it should have been done. I thought that was a New York thing, but apparently not. Since you're not from New York, I'm just like yesterday is fine. Today, tomorrow, no. Yeah, divine timing, just letting the business evolve at the rate it's supposed to or is meant to evolve, and releasing just that that overworking because you think it'll get you to where you're going faster. Enjoy life.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So how can our viewers find you and learn more about your subscription box and all the wonderful things you're doing over at Ink Goddess Creations?
We have the website. Everything stems from the website. So that's inkgoddesscreations.com. And there's even, or you can go to inkspirit.com, which is about the membership group. It'll just kind of redirect you to the main website. I even have a podcast now because that's been a fun little thing. So that's all on the website as well too. All the links to all the episodes. So yeah. And then I hang out on Instagram a lot. That's kind of my favorite platform. So that's at Ink Goddess Creations. And then on Facebook, we're Ink Goddess Creations. So yeah.
Love it. Continuity of brand across social media. Wonderful. It's something I teach, and I love that we didn't even have to tweak that. You had that on lockdown. Share the name of your podcast. It's so fun.
Busy, gritty, inked, and witchy.
Now, Ink Goddess Creations, where'd that name come from? Because nobody can really see that you're all inked up, but I know you. I know you are.
I am. Yeah, I'm covered. I used to be a tattoo artist. That's one of the skills that I learned kind of at a time when I was trying to figure out who I was. I was a professional tattoo artist and a body piercer. So when I decided to open my store, I knew I wanted the word goddess in it. And I don't know. I remember I was cleaning my house and I was on the phone with my mother talking about how I wanted to launch this store. And we were kind of going back and forth with names. And I was like, well, I'm covered in tattoos and I used to be a tattoo artist. So what about Ink Goddess Creations? And I got like goosebumps
Yes.
immediately. And I was like, okay, that's it.
That's awesome. Your creativity. And I just want to really say that creatives, you can create amazing, thriving businesses. Morgan went from being a tattoo artist and a body piercer, and she has this amazing brand that is just making so many hundreds and hundreds of people's lives better every month with her creativity, putting together these boxes. So your creativity could be in one area, but it could pivot. And actually, then Morgan took all of her creativity and started putting into these monthly subscription boxes and products and now programs. So don't limit yourself. Don't box in the universe, right? Just let it happen. Let your soul and heart lead you in business. That's awesome. So, in closing, do you have any words of wisdom or advice you'd like to give the viewers?
I do. I think one of the biggest things that you helped me with was boundaries. I had, especially working from home, I had zero boundaries. I would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and start working, and I would work the whole entire day. I would pause to eat. No, I don't even think I would pause to eat lunch. I think I would work while
Yeah, yeah,
I would pause to eat dinner and then go right back to work. And I would work until 10 o'clock at night. And that was a big part of my exhaustion. I had no boundaries as far as work life and home life. I had no boundaries between myself and customers as well, which I thought was this amazing thing. But there are boundaries that you need with everyone in your life, healthy boundaries. And so with your help, I began to put healthy boundaries in place. And I'm still open with my customers. I'm still transparent. I'm still authentic with my customers, but there are some boundaries in place that help me keep my sanity. But that's the biggest thing I think that I now enjoy my work time because like I'm at work for this amount of time and then I'm at home and I have that clear boundary. So when I'm at work, I'm productive, I'm more productive,
yeah,
I'm not drained, I'm putting myself 100% into that. And then when I get home, I'm 100% at home with my family. Um, and I think that's the biggest thing is just because you work for yourself or just because you work from home doesn't mean you have to be working 24 hours a day. If you can establish some very healthy boundaries, then you work harder and more productive when you are at work, and then you play harder and more productive when you're at play.
yeah. So powerful, so powerful. Let me just hammer that point in a little bit with Elisa Hammer. So, since working together, you and your husband have actually gone on a couple of little getaways. And not only did your revenue go up and stay there, but you feel more refreshed. Your relationship has an energy with it because you're having alone time with your beloved. So, how important is it to make time for your personal life? It makes you a better leader, entrepreneur, healthier person, body, mind, and spirit, right? It's just a win-win across the board.
It is. And if you're like me, and I mean, most women that start their own businesses, we have this drive within us.
Yes.
And it's, it gets to the point where you don't realize sometimes the drive can be unhealthy. But when you start to put the boundaries up, you still have the drive. It's even more powerful because you are like, I am here and I'm going to get this done. But then you leave for the day and you realize you're like, that's it. I can mentally leave work at work and I need to because now, yeah, I'm going to go away for the weekend with my husband. And then I'm going to have that drive all throughout the weekend, but it's going to be focused on my marriage.
Yes.
And then we do like family game night here and stuff. So then when I'm here with the kids, that drive is still alive within me, but I'm applying it to my family. So you can still have that drive. You just don't have to only have it for your business. Once you put up those boundaries, you still can drive towards whatever you're doing. And it's way better. And there's so much, like when I'm relaxing, I am like 100% relaxing. Like my phone is missing somewhere. It's in another room or, and I never would have even detached from my phone before. Like my phone would have always been next to me with emails coming in and, Facebook going off and Instagram going off. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm home. Nothing is going to happen that's going to ruin me right now. Like whatever happens, we can deal with it tomorrow during business hours. And the phone gets lost and I'm 100% with my family.
That right there is the pure definition of living your version of a goddess lifestyle, because you are living your soul truth. You are building this beautiful business that you built from a dream seed, and you are now enjoying life as well as business. That's the purest definition of a goddess lifestyle that I created that term. So I'm telling you, you're living it, and it's just so exciting. So all right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you gleaned a lot of wisdom from it, because this was just jam-packed with golden nuggets. Below the video, there'll be information on how you can find Morgan, her website, and such links. And of course, there'll be an invitation to have a conversation with me. If you're struggling in your business with boundaries, with leadership, stepping into your leadership, you're wearing all the hats and you feel exhausted rather than energized, let's talk. And let me see if I can help in some way, shape, or form. If I can't help you, I'm sure I know someone or something that can help you as well. Okay, and until next time, thanks, Morgan.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.